Hello and welcome to Traces of Trauma, where we explore the quiet echoes that trauma leaves behind and the gentle path of healing. I'm your host, Brian Arbor, inviting you to join me in conversations that honor our stories, our struggles, and the strength and grace it takes to move forward. This is a safe space to listen, reflect, and connect in the shared journey beyond our trauma. Welcome back, everyone. With me today is Liz Allen. Liz has been a friend and cohort for probably, I don't know, 3 years or so. We met through an organization called the Caregivers Project, which we're currently still forming the future of. Liz has been a hospital chaplain for 28 years and has certifications in grief, preventing burnout in caregivers, and mental health. And living in Madison, Wisconsin with her therapy dog, Carlita, who is just a fluffy little bundle of joy. Her background includes occupational therapy and improv training at Second City. So, in the realm of hospital chaplain, I'm sure uh, improv, humor, and occupational therapy weave together quite well. Um, and part of why, Liz, I asked you to be here is um, it's only a few weeks following the death of your sister. And I know you're facing and dealing with your grief. And the way that you face and deal with your grief is powerful.
Mhm.
And I wanted to invite you into a conversation to share not only how it is for you, but how you are with it.
Mhm.
So, anything else you want to say to let people know who you are or what's going on in your world?
Well, I'm ecstatic to be here and to talk about grief for sure. I love grief. I have opinions about it. And I am in an experience of grief with the death of my sister. And as you alluded to, I know everything there is to know about grief. I've been trained. I work in it every day. I've had two near-death experiences myself. So, you know, what can you teach me, grief? And then I said to myself, Miss Know-It-All. And I didn't include in my bio that I'm have been a university professor. So
Hmm.
I'm paid to know. I am a know-it-all. And from the Second City point of view or other points of view, I don't mind telling you that I know something. So now my sister dies, actually July 18th. So I was thinking today, it's August 15th, and then, so it's been however long it's been. And I realized that I, Miss Know-It-All, have never had a sister die. I've had parents die. I almost died. I've had friends die. I work in death and dying. And I have never had a sister die. And so I took it on like, teach me, because I believe in lifelong learning. Teach me, my sister Kate, how to let a sister go. And here I am now sharing that experience with you, Brian. You're the perfect one. And with anyone who's grieving. And I say everyone is grieving.
Yeah.
We'll look more about that later. So that's who I am right now about my sister's death. And she's my younger sister. I'm the middle child. We're all 4 years apart. My older sister's 85. I'm 81. And it's my younger sister,
Mm,
77, who died first. Not supposed to be that way.
yeah.
And so it is.
And what are you learning about grief in this period of your life?
Here's what I would say I've learned from my sister's grief is I've known this, but knowing by the by is the booby prize. Experiencing is where the juice is. And I am living the experience of loss. And I'm letting myself have it. Like the tears just were there now. All right, you got tears about your sister's loss. You prepared for it. She knew 3 months before she died she was going to die. And she planned her death, meaning not suicidal, but she had hoped to die after she retired within 10 years, because that's all her money would last. And she lasted 17. So she is teaching me how to how to let yourself experience the loss. You can know everything there is about something, but that isn't where it's at.
Yeah.
Where it's at is letting yourself have the experience, because that's how you heal.
Mm.
You heal by experiencing it.
One of the
So
things
that's what you're teaching me. Yes, go ahead.
one of the things you said in a prior conversation is there's more to grieve than the absence of your sister.
So,
There's all the different ways that that shows up, all the different things that maybe it seems like it shouldn't be showing up, but it is. All the little futures that you didn't know were taken for granted.
Mhm.
What would you say about the um like the ways that grief creeps in unexpectedly?
What would I say about the way grief creeps? It's so well said. Creeps in. So when a person, and in this case me, loses something, it brings up every other loss. There they are again in living color. The big ones, the middle-sized ones, the ones you even thought you forgot. No, there they are. One more time. Because grieving, you don't get over grief. You integrate it. 2 months ago, had my younger sister, Kate. I couldn't stand her half the time. She scolded me a lot because we didn't live the same way. I didn't live like her. She didn't live like me. And so she scolded me a lot of the time. We were together from early on. And so I now am noticing that I'm missing her scolding. Like, what's up with that? I might have almost wished that she died when she'd scold me. And now I'm missing her scoldings. So, how it shows creeps in. If you had asked me before she died, even before she was diagnosed, will I miss her scoldings? I would have said, not on your life. And now I'm missing her scoldings because I'm missing the her that scolded. So it creeps up. And the other way it creeps up, I said, I believe early in my speaking, that I myself had two near-death experiences. One at the age of 8 years old, in which I had a ruptured appendix. They operated, which had they known it ruptured, they wouldn't have. So I was in a semi-coma with infection throughout my body. For a month, they thought I could die. And then there's the earlier one, the 3-month-old one that was born with an enlarged thyroid, so I couldn't breathe. But how do you tell someone you're 3 months old? Is anybody out there even caring? Because I'm having some trouble over here. I wouldn't language it dying, but I would language it. What the hell is going on? I am not right here. Somebody, mother or dad, do you care or not? And so, of course, I was known as unsaid. I couldn't be satisfied. And that's the me you are now talking to right now. I still can't be satisfied. Or I can. But I have to notice that I'm feeling unsatisfied. That I'm trying to get my way. And therein lies my sister Katie. I was older than her. I wanted all the attention. She came along and she got it. I'm like, uh-uh, uh-uh. I had a good thing going, sister. And you have ruined it. And that's the basis of our relationship.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And I can laugh and I can cry about it.
Yeah. There is no uh, grief going our way. Grief goes the way grief is going to go,
That's it.
and it's going to grief when it's griefing, and it's not when it's not.
Absolutely.
And, I heard you say, there were times you might have even wished she would die in the middle of all of that
Absolutely.
scolding.
Yes.
And it's struck a chord because it's such a familiar guilt trigger for people
Yes.
dealing with grief.
Yeah.
So, it didn't sound like there's much guilt over there where you are. Great. Uh, but
Oh,
I'm sure in your chaplaining, uh,
yes.
you've run into family members who wished ill or had bad thoughts, and then all of a sudden the person died and they're left dealing with like that ill will
Mhm.
uh, being a burden.
Yes.
How do you face something like that?
Um, First of all, I do have feelings of guilt.
Hmm.
So I'm not immune to it. And in fact, I notice it probably more. So in my work as a chaplain, I not only notice it in others, because I notice it in myself, but there are terms for it. And you might know well from trauma. It's called survivor's guilt. There's a name for it. How come they did and I didn't? And how it showed up with my sister is she shouldn't have died first. If any one of the three of us, I'm the most raucous of them all. I should have died first. I smoked, told dirty jokes, and loved my beer. My older sister is almost a teetotaler. She's 85 and she's never smoked.
Yeah.
Thus, she's 85, going strong. My younger sister smoked. She, she didn't drink. She didn't tell dirty jokes. She did it right. So it was supposed to be me. So there it is in my sister. Now, your question was, how do I deal with it within my work and when I see it? And yes, I see it all of the time. And this is something about grief that your listeners may find useful. Someone dies. Oh my gosh, you feel bad because they died. Could be your mom, could be your dad, could be your enemy. And you're kind of glad they died. And then you feel bad that you're glad that they died. I mean, what kind of human being would feel glad that somebody died? And it is part of grief to, in the early stages, sanctify the dying. Well, they weren't that bad. And, you know, they were my mom or my dad, or they were, and so we tell the good stories about them. But there's that son of a gun used to scold me all the time. So there's that other side of it. And culturally, and I say culturally, universal, internationally, you don't, it's not nice, you know, to talk bad about the dead. Some cultures even have professional mourners. And some cultures mourn the way the culture mourns. And they go to the funeral and they feel bad and they cry and cry and cry. And they get in the car and they're like glad that's over. So, and I am quite a storyteller, so I have to watch myself. The point is, how do I deal with it with people who are survivors, shall we say?
Mm-hmm.
My commitment is for everyone. We survive on our own. It's built into our system. Your body, mind, and spirit will survive. I'm interested in people thriving in their life, not surviving. And so when I see it, I notice it and I let them notice it. I don't talk them into it or out of it. And I just notice, we'll say in a particular situation that they're sainting the dying. And then I say, is there anything you would say about how they were with, like, gee, they seem kind of, my sense of the person dying from stories or even their dead self? I say, they seem pretty stubborn to me. Their body like tells me that they're pretty, and boy, did they let loose. Stubborn? You don't know the half of it. Did you know that person? It sounds like you did. And then they have a right that it brings up. Now I can talk about the not so nice part,
Mm-hmm.
the part that I didn't like about them. Yeah, they were my mom, dad, sister, brother, enemy, best friend. But boy, I couldn't stand it when they do some of that stuff. And so that's how I bring it to be available. I don't tell them, but they get to tell themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't all the glitters ain't gold, let me tell you.
Definitely. There are aspects of people that like just really the world is better without that. And
Well said.
sometimes what we think we would really prefer to do without,
Mhm.
um, it winds up being the thing we're missing. You're scolding with your
Absolutely.
sister, right? And
Absolutely.
there's a there's a difference between and death and grief maybe shines the best light on the difference between like real um I don't know, it's not the right word, but like the real evil in a person
Mhm.
and um the things that we just didn't like. So, boy, your sister could just shove it where the sun doesn't shine if she came after you one more time.
Absolutely.
But here you are, and that nagging and scolding was a part of the sister you loved,
Mhm.
and it's a part that doesn't keep you from loving her.
Yes.
So there's room sometimes in death and grief to celebrate the parts of someone that we resisted with everything we had while they were here.
Mhm.
Um, and it seems like perhaps that's a way to bring them closer now that they've gone further away.
Absolutely. It's to have them present again. Yeah, that's it, Brian. Absolutely. That's the usefulness of it, is you're missing how they loved you. That's how they loved. She scolded me. In fact, in her last 3 weeks, for sure, or maybe month, she said to me while she was still kind of talking, you know, I don't like the way you live. And I said, you know what? I am well aware of that. I am well aware that you don't like how I live. And I just left it like that. And I knew that's how she loves people. She tells them how they should be doing it. And that's fine for her, just not for me. And so how I managed it was I shut up. So I didn't express myself around her. I wasn't authentic with her in the way that I normally am. And that's how she loved. And she was known in our family as that. And they would say, don't tell Kate this if you don't want her opinion about it. And so stuff was kept from her because she'd tell you it wasn't right, or don't do it like that, or you shouldn't do it. And if you didn't want to hear that, there were instructions that came with our sister Kate. Then don't tell her stuff because she is going to correct you. That's how she loves you. Yeah. I don't want to marry somebody that loves me like that. So, anyway, and it brings to mind and what I learned in my grief training from the Center for Loss and Life Integration in Denver, Colorado, with Alan Walfelt. If anyone wants to look up all kinds of writings he's done, what it taught me, this training program I was in, it taught me there's a difference, grief and mourning. And grief is the outward expression of loss. And mourning is the experience of the loss. And some cultures are great at the outward and not so good at the inward. And some cultures are better at the inward. Oh my God, they faint and carry on, and you got to get the smelling salts and have the experience of the loss, but they can't talk about it. And then some people talk about it. Oh my God, my sister died. Do you know what it's like for me now? They can talk about it, but they won't let themselves experience it. So the grief is the outward expression of mourning, and the mourning is the internal experience, rather, of loss.
Mm.
Grief is outward experience of loss. Mourning is internal. I worked with a chaplain, Black chaplain, Melva, and I was saying to her something about grieving, and she said, "Oh, in our culture, we're great at the mourning part. We have the fans and the people come and they collapse and the spirit overcomes them and they drop and yeah, yeah, yeah." And I've experienced that with that culture and other cultures as well, by the way. But talk about it, they won't talk about it. Not, no, it's never going to happen. It never did happen. It's not that. But the mourning part, they have got it in spades. So, and this is international. Cultures have particular cultures pay for mourners to come and carry on. Oh my God. You just got to love it. So it's human being, and human being does it the way human being does it. And we do it different because we're different. I'm not you, Brian. You're not me. I didn't have the experiences you had. You didn't have the experiences I had that I've put into my story of my living.
Yeah. One of the things that you brought to me, I don't even remember how far back, was a quote from Tara Brach.
I've got it right here. You going to read it?
Sure.
Yeah. Do you want to read it?
In the Lakota Sioux tradition, a person who is grieving is considered most wakan, most holy. There's a sense that when someone is struck by the sudden lightning of loss, he or she stands on the threshold of the spirit world. The prayers of those who grieve are considered especially strong, and it is proper to ask them for their help.
Mm-hmm.
You might recall what it's like to be with someone who has grieved deeply. The person has no layer of protection, nothing left to defend. The mystery is looking out through that person's eyes. For the time being, he or she has accepted the reality of loss and has stopped clinging to the past or grasping at the future.
Mm-hmm.
In the groundless openness of sorrow, there is a wholeness of presence and a deep natural wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
And I see pieces of that in the way you've shown up these last 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Just being in the moment of grief when it shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and recognizing the past and the unfulfilled future
Mm-hmm.
without losing the sister you actually had in
Mm-hmm.
trying to hang on to those past experiences or those futures.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, as described in the reading by the Lakota Sioux, you're present. You're totally present. And that's how you heal, is by letting yourself experience your experiences. As human beings, we have a hint that there's an experience and we don't like it. I didn't wish her dead, other than on a rare occasion. I wished her to shut up. I didn't ever wish her dead. Just shut up. Uh, anyway, you you don't need to, but healing occurs in the experience. It doesn't occur not experiencing.
Yeah.
Human beings tend to not want to be with certain things.
Exactly. I mean, we've seen grief turn people to drinking, to drugs, to, some people deal with grief by eating
Yep.
or
Mhm.
just go like sleep, just going unconscious.
Yep.
And all you do is show up for work and go to sleep.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and that smothering or hiding from the the real impact
Mhm.
of
That's it.
on ourselves.
That's right. The
Um,
cost of it.
it costs us the ability to recognize that part of ourselves,
Mhm. That's right.
to reconcile the what happened and the way that it
Mhm.
shook parts of who we are.
Mhm. Mhm. That's it. Exactly. You got to be with it to heal, not deny it. Denial, besides being a river wherever it is, denial, I say this about denial, it's useful because it shows you there's something you're avoiding. Oh, no, I don't. Oh, really? You protest so loudly. Uh-huh. What is it that you don't want to be with?
Mhm.
And whatever you use to deny, as you said, eat, sleep, drink, tell dirty jokes, commit suicide, it's something you cannot be with.
Yeah.
When the being with it is what's going to heal you.
Yeah.
Get support in being with it, but be with it.
If we took grief
Mhm.
and mapped it out like it fit in the world of occupational therapy,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
The longer you ignore the issue in the OT world, the it doesn't get better. If you're lucky, you just live with it. If you're
Yeah,
if you're anything other than lucky, it gets worse.
it get worse. It costs
You
you.
pull something running a marathon,
Yeah,
it's useful to be able to ignore that pain.
yeah.
But the longer you ignore it,
Mhm.
medicate for it, you just pop Advil
Mhm.
3 times a day and struggle on as if it's not there
Yes.
without actually doing the work to identify
Yeah.
what happened, what does that particular injury need
Hmm.
to recover and heal.
Yes. And you
It
know.
takes rest, it
Mhm.
takes focused work
Mhm.
to come back from the kinds of, I mean, that's what occupational therapy is all about.
Mhm.
And we are much more willing to accept that truth about physical injury than emotional injury.
Mhm. Amen. Yeah. Because they're all related. You have a physical injury. Let me tell you, if you ask somebody about it, they have emotions about it. And if they notice, they have a meaning added. It's called in occupational therapy, the spirit. What's it all about, Elfie? So the bigger picture is the spirit of it. And I'm not talking Catholic and Lutheran. I'm talking for your will to live. What gets you up in the morning? And if you have a spiritual problem, it'll show up in your emotions in your body. You have an emotional problem, it'll show up in your body and your spirit because the ankle bone's connected. to the nipple. There's even a song about it.
Yeah.
We're
And
connected.
yeah, you see depression set in for people who
Yes,
are dealing with unresolvable chronic pain.
absolutely. And
And
it's natural
yeah.
that it would. Absolutely.
So, what are some of the ways people can approach their grief?
Perfect. Great question. What's been there for me to say, so I'm going to say this now, and then I'll go on to answer your question. People think of grief as death. No, you grieve loss. You grieve your divorce. You grieve your um, car breakdown. I'm, as I said, a university professor. So students grieve that they got a C or a D or an F on a test, and they go through the grieving cycle. Sometimes it's quickly. Well, if I hadn't played the night before, if I'd studied more, took better notes, or did this or did that. So grief is about loss, and it doesn't have to be death. It's life not going the way you had planned on it going. Now, to answer the next question, how can people grieve well, go about it? They need to experience it. And how do you experience it? You write about it, you talk about it, you art about it, you dream about it, you share about it with someone. Get it out of you, give it its own life in picture, in humor, in however you express it. You need to express it. You need to let it be so it can let you be. And if you hide from it, denial it, then you're stuck with it. And I say it this way, we're all going to die anyway. So it's going to cost you your life rather than give you your life. It's not going to save your life. You are going to die. There's going to come a day and a moment and a situation. So it's not going to prevent death, but it may cause you to feel dead or not alive as you could be. So art its way. I have a dear friend who says it this way. Her byline is the arts are ministry to the soul. And that's what we're talking about here, is the soul of a person. And I'm not talking go to heaven soul. I'm talking about the essence of a person.
Yeah.
So that's how express it one way or another. And it can be useful to get it out of you, whether you sing in the shower or curse in the shower or roll down your windows. We used to do this in California, and just shout out and have a mad moment on the freeway when no one can hear you. If you want to save your image and look good, or put a bunch of pillows in a closet and beat the heck out of them. If you're mad, be mad. If you're sad, be sad. If you're glad, be glad. So let yourself experience the loss. That's how you heal.
Yeah. You know,
Mhm.
I heard you say, give it a life.
Give it a life.
And in the background, I heard, so it doesn't eat away at
Yeah,
yours.
that's exactly it. So it doesn't cost you yours. It gives you yours. Give it life.
There's
Mhm.
a there are kinds of grief that just don't end.
They
And
don't end.
it it's like, I could spend the rest of my life trying to get my next door neighbor to move out of my neighborhood
Yep.
and resent everything because they're still here
Yep.
and do everything I can to get them out.
Yep.
Or I could just let them live next door.
That's it.
And grief, like settling into being at peace with grief,
Yeah. Mhm.
feels kind of like that for me. Like it's not that the grief is who I am. And I have to watch out because if I'm trying to undo its existence somehow, it it takes so much of me
Yes.
to try and negate the existence of that grief
Hmm.
when I could let it live next door.
Yeah.
And when the music's blasting at 2 a.m. and I want to swear at it, I
Yep.
swear at it.
Swear at it.
When the
Call the
grief won't let
police
me
about it.
sleep, when the grief butts in and I'm at work and I'm busy, when the grief
Yep.
has me like oversensitive to something and I just, whatever.
Yep.
It becomes a part of who we are.
Mhm.
And I feel like grief is also a measure of honoring the value of what was lost.
Mhm. Yep. Well said.
I don't grieve the sandwich I ate for lunch. That sucker's gone.
Yep.
But I I grieve things that really mattered to me.
Hmm. Hmm.
I for a long time was really in the grip of grief around a failed marriage.
Hmm.
And it wasn't the end of our challenges with each other. It wasn't it wasn't the moving on. It was the loss of what I thought we had.
Yeah.
It was the loss of the future that we promised each other.
Yep.
Like we had named children that we didn't have yet.
Hmm.
And now we're never going to have that. I had to
Hmm.
let go of the family that I was building.
Hmm.
We grieve the loss of what mattered to us.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And as much as your sister nagging and scolding you was irritating, somewhere in there, you must have been glad she still cared.
I did. When I said, you know, oh, this is how she loves me. I don't like how she loves me. I don't love, well, I do love like that. I didn't like what I just shut up about it. She didn't like and she told me about it. I didn't like and I shut up about it. And so it
Yeah.
cost me my living. No, 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 no. And I did that. She didn't shut me up. I
Yeah.
shut me up. So it was costly to my living.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And somewhere in recognizing the value of what we've lost, there's a little spark of joy
Mhm.
available,
Yes,
hidden in the grief.
that's it exactly. That's it exactly. I just, less than a week ago, lost a boss of mine who I also didn't like mo most of the time, but I respected her. And anyway, I happened to be involved, as the divine would have it, in her dying. And so I was writing her today, her family, a card that we have from work. And I want to read the message about grief that we send people, and it says, "May the blessings of love be upon you. May its peace abide with you. May the essence illuminate your heart now and forever." And that's the saying that we then write a personal message honoring someone's grief. Love be upon you, peace abide with you, essence illuminate, like the Lakota Sioux. The people that are grieving are awake. They are awake, awake, awake. And now and forevermore.
Thank you so much, Liz, for
Yes.
the conversation today, for um, the way you walk in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's really a pleasure to be your friend and
Mm.
colleague, and I just love you to bits. And I'm sure we'll see more of you around the podcast in the future.
Oh, great.
Is there anything you'd like to say in closing here before we go?
Certainly. Thank you. And thank you for this opportunity, because it's in my commitment for well-being for everyone, even my enemies, with absolutely no one left out.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Keep on keeping on, man.